Okay, we are live as live can get out in front of Memorial Hall, PCW this evening, and this guy needs no introduction because he's been on the radio show before. He is the Space Cowboy, Mr. Jason. How are you?
Hey man, how's it going?
So you have been all over the damn place.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Since we had you on the radio show, you have been everywhere. Everyone.
Absolutely, the hardest working man in pro wrestling, man. It's not just a nickname. I live the gimmick, baby.
So, what has been some of the fun places you've been? Because just looking at your Facebook and some of your social media, it's like a national almanac. You've been all over the damn place.
Man, I've been in this business almost 25 years. So 24 years now, and it's 24 and a half years, and I've wrestled. I'm like, I'm an Arkansas boy, so I grew up cutting my teeth, Missouri and Kansas and Oklahoma, and I've wrestled every hen house and outhouse that you can think of, and I'm excited. I'm really here. When they told me it's historic because one of the guys that was kind of instrumental in my career was Sonny Myers, and Sonny Myers is wrestled in this building, and Bob Orton. I've teamed with Bob Orton quite a bit, and he's had lots of matches in here. So all the history that's came through here, I'm just glad to be a part of it. I'm an old school wrestling junkie. I'm an old school wrestling fan, and that's what I model.
That's why I love you, man.
That's why I model my career after, and I'm just glad to be here because all the history that's built up with this place. So I'm excited, man.
So recently, I saw that you've won some tag belts.
I recently won them and lost them really quick. We're WFC Tag Team Champions with Paul Puerto Rico, a guy that I've been in the business with for 20 years, and I've known him for a long time. But recently lost him to some guys I trained. Maybe I trained them too good. But recently lost him to toxic masculinity over in Oklahoma. So yeah.
Okay, so you missed the part about I taught you everything you know, but I didn't teach you everything.
No, I didn't. Yeah, that's insert that line here. Everybody knows that trainer thing. It's that whole Rocky thing. It's like I didn't teach you every trick, kid. But yeah, but they we get our rematch. They'll learn. The old dog's still got a few tricks that he keeps in his back pocket. He's not going to teach them everything.
So you've been in the business since, as an old program director of mine used to say, since God was a baby.
God was a baby.
What have you seen over the years that gives you hope for pro wrestling moving forward?
The amount of indie promotions that are coming up, that are springing up, and the bad ones getting weeded out, and the good ones sticking. And I think that there's a lot of hope from, even though the style of pro wrestling has changed. I get guys that they're doing moves, and it sounds like they're ordering off a sushi menu, and that's not me. I'm old school, and I do it in the ring, so to speak. But the willingness to the respect that I get from a lot of those young guys that are like, "Sir, would you care to watch my match?" And critique it, and that shows me that they want to learn, and they want to, that they want to grasp that, because the rule of thumb is, and how I train my students is, it's a formula that's worked. Yeah. For 100 years or more, so don't fix it if it ain't broke. And too many people are trying to reinvent the wheel, or too busy trying to get their spots in, or whatever the case of it is.
Get my shit in.
Well, yeah, man, but the whole thing of it is, it goes back to our job as professionals is to sell tickets and to put butts in seats.
That's right.
And when they're there,
butt every 14 inches.
That's right. And so my job is to entertain them while they're there, and whether they boo me, whether they cheer me, whatever the case it is, and whatever town it is, and whatever they've got, whatever they're needing me to do, I'll flip the switch and do it, and that's what I'll deliver them, man. I'm just going to entertain those people, and they're going to leave, whether they boo me or hate me, they're going to leave a fan deep down. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, man.
So fairly recently, you did a beautiful Bobby tribute show. Mm-hmm. This is fantastic, and I think it's great.
That was the other guys. The Fantastics were the other guys. But anyway, Bobby Eaton was very instrumental in my career. I've been friends with Bobby for years and years and years. He came and stayed with me for a couple weeks at a time. We'd go hit shots in Oklahoma and Tennessee. And so I went to Bobby's funeral in Nashville, and I've always been close with his sister Debbie. And of course his kids, like Taryn, and so I got an idea. I said, "Look, let's do a Bobby tribute show." And I had guys come that were, I was involved in a group and a product that was pretty notorious. It was TCW, and Bobby was always backstage helping us with that. So it involved with Brian Thompson and you had Matt Riviera, Mr. Saturday Night Michael Berry, and Golden Boy Greg Anthony. So a lot of those guys came back and did this. Yeah,
Mr. Dyersburg, Tennessee.
Mr. Tennessee, man. But we did a tribute show to Bobby, and his family drove from many miles away, from all the way up from Alabama to come see him, and just the amount of emotion on their face and the compliment. It was, just for her to run up and give me a big hug after she saw all that we did for Bobby. And Ricky Morton sent us a video to play to the crowd, and we had some words by, some of those. So many, like Bobby mentored me in the way that he knew how, and he would just tell us stories, and even though he was just BSing because he was my buddy, there was a lesson in there, whether you got it or not. And to those guys that never took advantage of Bobby Eaton being around, they missed a vast pool of knowledge, because he was one of the greatest, man. He was, even when I was a kid, I was a Bobby Eaton fan, whether I booed him or cheered him. He was so innovative, and he was so ahead of his time, man. He really was.
So after tonight, where do you go?
Let's see. Next Saturday, I am in, is it Fort Worth or Dallas? It's for World Class Championship Wrestling.
That's awesome.
Eric Embry's going to be there. Mick Foley will be on that card. And
I think that's the Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be there, and then I'll be back the weekend after that. I'll be back in my hometown of Harrison, Arkansas. Jimmy Hart will be in my corner as a challenge for the Southern Heavyweight Championship against Tim Rockwell and Big Stevie. So having Jimmy Hart in my corner, pretty cool, man.
You just literally know everyone.
I'm a name dropper, man. That's what I do. I drop those names, I pick them up, put them back in my pocket until I need to drop them again. But Jimmy's really cool. I was a part of the Lawler 50th anniversary event. So for 4 days, I got to shuttle Jimmy around, and we went and did radio at like 5, 6.
Oh, God, I've heard this guy's legendary.
Dude, he's just that area, too, around Memphis. Jimmy was a staple. He was on TV every Saturday, and they did
a song with the band.
Yeah, he wrote it. He wrote Keep on Dancing with the Gentrys. But, dude, he's just and he's one of those guys, too, that still looks the part. He's, we go into a Waffle House to get something to eat, and he would stop eating and take a picture with everybody. Wanted to take a picture with him. Such a great guy. And I was like, we did the, after that, we did the Jerry Lawler, Wrestle Bash, whatever, and Tunica. I forget what the exact name of it was.
It was a giant deal at the casino.
Yeah, Kurt Angle had a bunch of it at Fitz's. Yeah, but I talked to Jimmy. I was like, look, I've got a guy that I've got a feud with, and his manager has a megaphone. He's like, he's got a megaphone, and I'm like, yeah. I was like, that's why I need you to come in and counterbalance him. He's like, I got you, baby. Make the call. Let's do this, baby. So he's gonna fly in the night before. I've always
heard from all these different wrestling promoters that if you want somebody who's gonna bust their ass and sell the show, book Jimmy Hart.
Jimmy Hart, man. It down to like one of the events that we did for King there is like, I told Jimmy, I was like, hey, you don't have to break down tables, and you don't have to do that stuff. I was like, just sit down and chill out. I mean, he's 80 years old. He's still
seen those pictures on Facebook.
They're all true, man. Jimmy's he's such a tender-hearted guy. He's such a nice guy, and he's so giving, like, to the fans. Like, he'll sign every autograph. He'll take every photo, and he doesn't ask for $1 in return. He's just a great guy, and I think he can lend a lot of positivity to have around on a card, especially with some of the young guys in there. If they want him to watch his match, he'll gladly do it. So, yeah.
Well, before I let you go, social media, websites.
Social media, man. The Space Cowboy Jason Jones, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. Follow me. Do whatever you guys kids do on the Twitter or whatever. I don't even understand it. But hey,
that one's into TikTok now.
Yeah, it's spacecowboywrestling.com. Listen, log on, buy a shirt, support my wrestling habit, and so help me live the dream, baby. Because that's that next year, man. It's my 25th year, and it's living the dream tour, baby. We're gonna keep on doing it. Thank you for all your help, man. I appreciate it.
Honor to see you, man.